It's midnight. You're lying in bed, eyes closed, comfortable. Everything is perfect for sleep. And then your brain goes, hey, remember that embarrassing thing you said in 2014? Let's think about that. And you're like, brain, we've been over this. It was a minor social mistake. Nobody remembers. And your brain goes, yeah, but what if they do? Also, did you turn off the stove? Also, what is the point of life, really? Welcome to the night shift that nobody asked for. Here's what's actually wild, though. This isn't just you being weird. This isn't anxiety. This isn't a personal failing. This is your brain doing exactly what it was built to do. It's just running a program that used to keep us alive. And it has absolutely no idea that 2 a.m. is not the right time for it. So today, we're going to cover exactly what's happening inside your head when you can't shut it off. And I promise, by the end of this, you'll either feel better about it or at least feel smarter while suffering. Here's the thing. Your brain is ancient, like embarrassingly ancient. The part of your brain that won't let you sleep, that's not your fancy modern human brain. One that evolved when our ancestors were sleeping on the ground in the dark, surrounded by things that genuinely wanted to eat them. Back then, the moment you closed your eyes and relaxed, you became the easiest meal in the forest. So your brain developed a system, a threat detection loop that specifically activated at night. It would scan your recent memory, pull up anything unresolved, and force you to think about it. Because unresolved problems were dangerous problems. The guy who didn't make peace with the tribe's strongest member, that guy got left behind. The woman who didn't plan the next day's route before sleeping, she got lost. The person who didn't rehearse the hard conversation they needed to have, they lost the negotiation, the resources, maybe their life. Your brain learned that lying still, in the dark, was the perfect time to do its most important work. And 300,000 years later, it still thinks that. You are lying in your comfortable bed, and your brain is running the same nighttime threat processing software it ran in a cave. The software hasn't been updated. The environment has. Now, let's get a little more specific, because there's actually a name for what happens to your brain when you're not doing anything. It's the network that switches on when your brain switches off from doing tasks. When you're focused, solving a problem, reading, talking to someone, your brain is actively engaged. But the moment you stop doing something focused, the default mode network kicks in. And here's what it does. It time travels. It pulls up memories from the past. It projects imaginary scenarios into the future. It processes social situations. It thinks about yourself, other people, relationships, regrets, possibilities. It is, for lack of a better term, your brain's drama generator. Now, during the day, this gets interrupted constantly. Phone notifications, tasks, conversations. But at night, no interruptions. That's not a recipe for peaceful emptiness. That's a recipe for your brain staging a one-man theatrical production of every unresolved thing in your life. Your body has a hormone called cortisol. Most people know it as the stress hormone, but that's not quite right. Cortisol is actually your alertness hormone. Your cortisol levels naturally start rising around 3 to 5 a.m. to prepare your body to wake up. But here's the problem. Cortisol doesn't just respond to your sleep cycle. It also responds to stress, unresolved problems, and anxiety. So if your brain is lying in bed running its threat detection loop, your cortisol levels go up, which makes you more alert, which makes your thoughts louder and faster. Which stresses you more? Which raises cortisol more? You see where this is going. It's a loop. A beautiful, terrible, completely self-sustaining loop. And at the bottom of this loop, somewhere around 2 a.m., is you, staring at the ceiling, wondering why you can't just stop. And at the bottom of this loop, somewhere around 2 a.m., is you, staring at the ceiling, wondering why you can't just stop.
It's called the Zeigarnik effect.
Named after Bluma Zeigarnik, a Soviet psychologist in the 1920s who noticed something strange while sitting in a restaurant. She observed that waiters could remember every detail of orders they hadn't delivered yet, but the moment an order was complete, they forgot it almost immediately. The brain essentially puts a sticky note on anything unfinished, a flag that says, "Don't let this go, we're not done yet." During the day, you're moving, taking action, completing things. The unfinished items are there, but you're busy. Night removes the busy. And all those sticky notes your brain has been saving up? Every unresolved conversation, every pending decision, every worry you didn't have time to deal with during the day, they all become due at the same time. Your brain isn't spiraling randomly. It's working through its to-do list. It's just doing it at the world's worst time, in the world's least productive way. The harder you try to stop thinking, the worse it gets. It's called the ironic process theory, described by psychologist Daniel Wegner in the 1980s. His most famous experiment, he told people, very simply, don't think about a white bear. They thought about nothing but white bears. The brain, when told to suppress a thought, has to first identify what thought to suppress, and in identifying it, it thinks about it. The more you lie there going, stop thinking, just stop thinking, the louder everything gets. You cannot force your way into mental silence. The effort itself is noise. All right, so what do you actually do? Number 1, the brain dump. Write everything down before bed. When you write them down, you're telling your brain, something else is holding this now. You can let go. Studies have shown that people who write a specific to-do list fall asleep significantly faster than those who don't. Number 2, give the default mode network a safe topic. Something imaginative. Building a house in your mind, room by room. Your brain wants to wander. Let it wander somewhere harmless. Number 3, don't fight the thoughts. Watch them. When you observe a thought without engaging, you break the cortisol loop. No resistance, no conflict, no escalation. Number 4, cool the room, heat the body. A warm bath 1 to 2 hours before bed, then rapid cool down triggers your sleep system directly. Number 5, keep the same wake time, even when you sleep badly. The rhythm stabilizes over days, not hours. So here's where we land. You can't stop thinking at night because your brain is ancient, and it was built for a world where nighttime was dangerous. Your brain isn't broken. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do. It's just doing it 300,000 years past its original context. So, the next time you're lying in bed at midnight and your brain decides to replay something from 2011, maybe just nod. Write it down and say, yeah, I know. I'll deal with it tomorrow. And if you're watching this at 2 a.m. instead of sleeping, I get it. I genuinely get it.